Right, let's see if there's a good fragrance review video to watch on YouTube today. Oh God, same thing as usual. Top 5, top 10, most complimented, latest hyped up new fragrance. God, same thing as usual. I mean, where's the integrity? Where's the passion from these people? I'm fed up of it. Hang on a minute, if I did a video about this, I could probably get quite a few views.
Welcome back. So today I wanted to talk about an important subject. So it's a question: is the YouTube fragrance community beginning to really get dumbed down? Are the videos out there becoming more and more samey? Are we getting more and more top 10s all the time? People talking about compliments all the time. People continually mentioning the same hyped up fragrances in every video. Is the overall quality or the amount of videos where people are actually giving you something insightful, unique, different, whether it's the presenter has their own unique take on things, their own personality, or is inventive or creative, is that disappearing a little bit? And are we beginning to get very much very generic videos? We seem to have more reviewers, of course, than ever, because YouTube's been around longer. The fragrance thing is growing and growing, and for the most part that's great. But there do, perhaps it could be argued, seem to be many painting by numbers, kind of cookie cutter type fragrance review channels that just spring up doing top 10 videos a lot of the time, and things aren't as fun or as interesting as they used to be. This is certainly a common notion, I think, around the people in the fragrance community online. People who watch a lot of the YouTube videos will often lament that things are not like they were in the good old days. Of course, the biggest fragrance reviewer now, Jeremy Fragrance, by a long way. Many people say that his videos are not really for the true fragrance connoisseur. For a long time he was famous. Let's talk about Jeremy for a bit, actually. He was famous for a long time because he did a lot of videos where he featured young attractive girls rating fragrances thumbs up or thumbs down in a very simplistic way, or maybe marks out of 10, and it would be a list of fragrances, quick fire kind of stuff. Interestingly enough, actually, though, if you look at Jeremy's recent video uploads, look at the thumbnails, there hasn't been a girl in the video thumbnail for months and months now. He doesn't seem to be doing that anymore. So I'm always interested to keep up with what Jeremy's doing. And actually, one of his very recent videos was about the difference between naturals and synthetics in fragrances. And that was actually a really well-informed, educational and interesting video. So although his presenting style is very slick, he's very charismatic, and it's a very aspirational channel that he's the kind of person many young people would aspire to be like. And there's always that aspect to the thing, and he tries to give fairly descriptions that are a little bit soundbite, like easy to digest, rather than going in depth for ages and ages with his description of particular smells. You have to say that a video like that one actually did show that he really knows his stuff about fragrance notes, how fragrances are made, and you could learn a lot from that video. So I'm definitely in this video not coming out on a rant saying it's all gone. I'm kind of asking the question, even within myself, have things changed? Is it worse than it used to be? Are we all dumbing our channels down, or is everything okay? And I want your opinions, of course. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the standard of the YouTube fragrance review videos and channels that are out there now. How has it changed in the last few years? Or if you're new to the game, what's your overall impression of what's out there for you to watch? So that's Jeremy Fragrance, definitely one of the fragrance reviewers with a very mass-appealing populist style, as you can see from his huge numbers of views and subscribers. But his channel's changed a lot, and it's constantly evolving, and that's one of the things I think you find with a successful channel. It will change and evolve. Other reviewers then, I noticed Mark Robes08, of course, one of the really long-standing fragrance reviewers, a great reviewer, was really known for many years as having very relatively long videos, really in-depth discussions of fragrances. But it now seems that he's switched tack a little bit, because he's got this competition series where he's got the top 100 designer fragrances, and that's designed to capture people's imagination and be a little bit more populist. A versus type format is maybe going to get people engaged a little bit more rather than a long in-depth review. And most of his average uploads now, I was looking on his channel today, you know, you're looking a lot more with him at videos around that 5, 6, even 3 minute kind of mark, and he's putting out more content but shorter videos. And that's not a criticism of him, but is he responding to the new way of things? He looks at other channels, sees which videos get the most views and thinks, I've got to conform to that, I need to make shorter, snappier videos. And of course, if that's the case, then it could be a pity, couldn't it? Because he's a really eloquent reviewer who really tests out his fragrances in depth and really breaks them down in a really thorough way. And of course, if he's just going to make more and more 4 or 5 minute videos, some people may say that's a shame that we're not going to get the in-depth reviews we used to get from people like him. But he's just doing the same thing that all of us do, and I do it myself. If you're making videos and you've had a channel for a while, you look at the kind of videos other people are making that get many views, and you certainly notice when you do your own reviews which videos are going to get the most views. And I know I might quite like, actually, and I still might do a review on Jules by Dior from 1980, a really classic vintage fragrance. I'm lucky enough to have an old vintage bottle, an animalic kind of spicy yet fresh masculine fragrance, similar maybe somewhat to Yves Saint Laurent's Chorus. But every time I think about doing that review, I know that's only going to get a few views, you know, 1,000 or so, which relatively for my channel is not terrible, but it's not going to get a high number of views. So if I do a top 5 scents of this kind or that kind, top 5 affordable fragrances, I know I'm going to get more views, or even a video like this one about you know, what's happening in Fragcomm. So that kind of thing is going on with all of us. You can see my videos, I do some I like to think, you know, that are a little bit different to what everybody else does. I do a little bit more on the vintage stuff. Sometimes I review obscure fragrances. I've got Frag Chat that I do with Smurfy Girly, and those videos, the Frag Chat, we really like doing them, and I think they give us a different audience, but they don't get massive hits compared to my top 10s and stuff like that. So I'm feeling that pressure too sometimes, that if I've done a video that didn't get too many views, I know maybe the next one should be a top 5 or a top 10 or something that's a bit more clickbaity, to use the term a lot of people use. So it's like that for everybody. We want to make videos about a subject we're passionate about, but of course there's this pressure you want, if you're going to put the effort in, you want people to watch the videos. So we're all under that pressure to make populist videos as well. Also, you've got this phenomenon that a lot of reviewers get sent stuff free from the smaller niche or even clone companies. I did a Dua Fragrances video recently. They send me a lot of stuff. I really like their fragrances. I'm happy to review them. But some people get annoyed with that. Parfums Vintage often send out their latest release to loads of reviewers at once. We've had Mula Mula. A lot of people have received that. That's a completely different thing. Really nice indie niche house. And that fragrance has been getting some airtime on a lot of the channels, but of course a lot of people get them at the same time, and it can get a bit annoying when you can see one company's just sent their stuff out to everyone. What was the other one? Sun Drunk by Imaginary Authors. I got a bit bored seeing people posting videos about that one. Probably a really good fragrance, but this is what's happening. Companies out there, particularly companies who don't have advertising in, you know, they don't have their boutiques, they're not Chanel, they need to get their products known about, and YouTube is a really good way for them to do it, and a reasonably inexpensive way. They just have to send reviewers a free bottle. So we're getting a little bit more involved in the whole world of the fragrance industry, maybe at the sort of lower end of it, not the high-end niche stuff or the designer stuff, but those kind of companies will send us bottles. A lot more reviewers, of course, are sponsored. We get sponsored videos. This one's got a giveaway. Every video now you have to listen for several minutes. Oh, stay tuned, don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure I can see you're subscribed and that you've shared the video, because I'm going to do a giveaway and you've got the chance to win this bottle. And this is because people are, you know, they're tying up with the companies. The companies are giving free giveaways and stuff like that. I do sponsored videos sometimes, which I do tell you when I'm doing them, but inevitably that's going to happen because people, you know, we'd be crazy to say no if we can boost our channel a little bit or get some free fragrances that could help everybody on our channel to have something more interesting to watch. But it's a problem because it's no longer as innocent as it used to be. There are still some great fragrance reviewers who don't seem to get involved in that at all. I really like Chris from Scentland because he reviews really obscure 70s and 80s and even modern fragrances, but nearly always the under the radar ones, and clearly just does it for his passion about fragrances. People like Lanier Smith, who do a lot of classic fragrances, and clearly, you know, there's never anything about please subscribe or there's going to be a giveaway. But those people are becoming swamped by a plethora of reviewers who either already have lots of sponsorships or probably are aspiring to get them by doing very generic top 10s type stuff that they think will get the views. I think it's okay because there's so much stuff out there. There are still some really good people, the ones I've mentioned, and other ones who don't seem to be copying everyone else. But there is a plethora now of channels which are very samey. What do you think about that? Is Fragcomm dumbing down? How long can this trend continue before we all get fed up of it? And what would you like to see reviewers do to make the channels more individual, more interesting? What is your desire as a viewer? Please let me know if you're a subscriber or you've just stumbled across my channel today, what you think is really good about fragrance reviews. Are you fed up with too many people doing the same kind of stuff, or do you like the top 10s? Obviously they get more views, so a lot of people out there like them. Is it boring when we waffle on about a vintage fragrance for 10 or 15 minutes? Apparently it probably is for many people. Let me know what you think about this topic in the comments below. As ever, thanks very much for watching. Remember, whatever you're doing in life, let's project. Bye bye.
Smelly.